What's going on, guys? Mark here and I'm back with another video. So for the longest time I've been trying to make this video, but I couldn't really find the right type of video to make. So I decided to separate my Notability video with my Goodnotes video, just so I can be more objective when it comes to reviewing or going over each app. Because when I started recording a Notability versus Goodnotes video all in one, I realized that my bias towards a certain app is pretty apparent, and I don't want that to happen. I want to be as objective as I can because I want the decision to be on you guys, because each app does have its pros and cons, and it really depends on the type of person you are. So I just want to present what there is in each app and you guys can decide. If you want to jump to a certain part, timestamps are down below. To let this video have a structure, I divided the video into two parts: organization and note-taking. I think that those are the two main important ideas of what a note-taking app in the iPad should have. So organization has other main subparts: how you will interact with the app, how you will organize your files within that app, and also how you will back up the files to the cloud or to a Google Drive or whatever your choice of iCloud system is. Note-taking is basically how you will write, how you will highlight, how to read, the way it handles the files in general. To start this video off, I want to give the 3 immediate benefits so you guys know what I already think about the app as early as now. First is it's simple, easy to learn, easy to use, and easy to sync to the cloud. There is a really good feature where you audio record while at the same time writing, and you can jump to each point of the audio recording. I'll get into it later. And it has a seamless page view, which I think is very beneficial for books and PowerPoint slides. So let's go to the first part, which is organization. I'll open up the app on my iPad right now so you guys have a quick view of what the app looks like. When it comes to user interface, how you can interact with the app, I think it's pretty simple in a good way. All the organization parts are on the left side, so you guys can easily access each subject if you wanted to. And it's fairly simple to organize it because you only have 2 options, which is a good thing for some people. It presents everything in a straightforward manner, so you can add subjects here, dividers. You have 2 choices of either adding a subject, which holds notes, or a divider, which you group the subjects in. To show you guys an example, this is how I organize my subjects. So I have biology and management subjects. Biology goes under biology. Then each subject gets their own subject, and then everything is within that. So when it comes to viewing 2 files, I think that it's under user interface, and it is an in-app feature, and that means that you can view 2 files at the same time without having to open another app for it. So you can practically read and write at the right side. For example, this is your notes. Let's use this space for an example. These are your notes, and then on the left side is the PowerPoint, so you can just go through the PowerPoint and be like, oh shoot, assumptions. So when it comes to organizing your subjects, like I mentioned, you have a subject and a divider. Each subject has 3 options to organize the files in. Its name, which is based on the characters of the file name, modified date, pretty straightforward, and then created date. And the cool thing about this is you can actually add colors to each subject. So biology subjects get a red, management subjects get a blue. Depending on the type of person you are, I think the fact that it is only in a list view can be a negative for you, because sometimes I think there is an advantage to having a thumbnail view where you see the first slide or the first page of each file. When it comes to backing up files, you have a lot of options. You have Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, Box, WebDAV, and it's super easy to use because the destination folder, you can opt to pick which folder you go under. You can also choose the subjects that you back up automatically, and you can also choose the file format that you back up. So you can opt to have the note file, which is the editable one, or a PDF, which is just the final version of it. So you can print it immediately. There's RTF. I haven't used it personally, but I think it's also a great option for other people who are more inclined to use that. When it comes to iCloud, I think it's pretty fast because once you start editing a file and you leave it alone for a while, it automatically starts syncing up to the cloud. So I completely forgot to mention that when you sync up to the iCloud, you can use that file as soon as you can on your phone. So let's take basic economics as an example. You can see that it's currently syncing up to the cloud, which means that whatever changes I did to the file on my iPad, it's immediately syncing here. So if I wanted to read it, I can just do so while in my phone. And when I make changes here, it immediately syncs up to the cloud again, and the changes will reflect on my iPad when it syncs up. So I just wanted to make that clear before I completely forget. That part of the app is super straightforward, simple to use, easy to learn, and overall just a little less stress when it comes to organizing stuff. You don't really have to think of a system, you just have to plop everything where you want it to be. Now I think we have to go into a pretty extensive part of the app, which is the note taking. This might take a while because based on my script at least I have 11 things to talk about here. I am gonna need a drink for this. Okay, now we can take this time to move on to the note-taking aspect of Notability. First, I want to talk about the writing features, and I apologize if I keep looking to my script because I really want to be correct the first time. So it has two different pen options. I think it's called ball pen option and the brush option. The main difference really is the fact that brush option, you can have a force-sensitive writing. An example would be if I use the ballpoint pen, it's just all the same throughout, but then if we use the brush option, there is a difference when it comes to the width. So if you compare this end, which is fairly similar in width all throughout, it's pretty different from here where it really tapers off. So the force you put affects the way the stroke looks like. When it comes to pen widths, you have 12 options. The exact pixel count escapes me right now, but then you can choose based on what it looks like. So to really tell the difference, I will just use the ball pen option to have it uniform all throughout, and we can write a line per brush. I'll use the first and last of every row so you guys can see the difference. So those are pretty much the difference in each pen width. When it comes to color options, you actually get 32 prepared ones. So this is the first page of 16. Second page of 16, that totals for 32, and then you can get 32 more that are custom. So here are my custom colors, and then you can add some more if you wanted to. When it comes to customizing colors, it's pretty extensive. You can choose here whatever tone you want. You can also choose through here, or you can just simply add the hex code, which is pretty cool feature if you ask me. If you notice, I actually brush through highlighter because it's exactly the same as the pen options, but then it just highlights stuff. When it comes to the eraser, this is actually a pretty good way to talk about it. I'll just write my name for a sec. The eraser pretty much has the same width options as a pen, but the difference is you can opt to erase the whole stroke, which looks like this. Or you can opt to have a partial erase, which basically means you erase it like a realistic eraser. So if we have the C, which is all in one stroke, you can just erase it piece by piece. If you're the type to write down notes and highlight key terms, you won't really worry because when you want to erase the highlighter only, it actually detects that, so it will look like this. Boop, see? It did not erase my name, so it's a pretty cool feature. So in the select tool, you have two options. You can opt to draw the selecting area, or you can opt to have a square instead. This one is more organized, more boxy. So if you want to change it up, you can do so, but you can also use your fingers. So now that we got the writing features down, I guess we have to move on to the page templates. Page templates are basically how your writing area will look like. You can opt to change it through the options, which is here, options, tap paper, and those are your options. So you have 15 colors. I don't know what you call these colors, but you just have the option to it. And then you have 15 options as to what your lining will look like. So you can opt to have a blank page, lined paper of different widths or spacing. You can also have a graphing paper, different spacing again, and dotted paper. So in Notability, there are a thing called themes. So for now, there are 3 free themes. Freaking tongue twister. So dark blue, dark, and light. Doesn't really look good. I go with dark blue to be honest. And you can pay for other themes right here. And the thing with Notability is whatever paper template you use will be affected all throughout each page that you add. So all your pages will have the same exact look and the same exact color. At least in my research, you don't really have the option to change the paper size. So if you have a standard A4 or US letter, it doesn't really have the option to change it into that. And also, you only have the option of keeping it at portrait really. You don't have the option to change it to landscape if you wanted to. When it comes to moving around pages, it used to have only one type of view, but then now they updated it with another. So the first is called seamless view. You can change it through the view option. Basically, it means there's just a line that divides two pages, and then you can just continuously scroll through each of them. Single page view basically is just a single page, and then you can just swipe through each page like so. The cool thing about Notability is the fact that you can search a text within that file even though it's handwritten. You can do it here. So let's say I wanted to search Lady Mary Wortley Montague and I'm in the very last page here. I can just type down Lady Mary. Let's say Lady Mary because that's the name already. It already shows up here on the results and highlights it for you. And a feature that comes with a seamless view is the fact that it automatically adds a page at the very end. So you already have an extra page at the end of the file. So if you take this as an example, so this is an empty page right here. This is the free page I was talking about. If I write down here, it automatically adds the next page already. So you don't really have to tap another thing, slide another thing. It automatically does it for you. So you can just keep doing this. Keep doing it until you're done. So when it comes to scrolling through each page, the right side has the thumbnail view. So you can pretty much scroll through each page. Let's go through page 4, page 5, page 6. And it also has a favorites tab, which is basically a tab where you can look at your favorites. So if I want to favorite page 5 and let's say page 12, I can find them right over here. Very simple. So when it comes to writing, it pretty much writes down how you actually write it down. Because, okay, yeah, that line is pretty confusing, but because I've been using Goodnotes for a while, that app actually adjusts it for a bit, like makes it a bit more neat. Here, it takes what you give it. So if I write like this, it's just gonna show it as that. Because if I wrote down this same letter in this same manner in Goodnotes, it actually has a bit of an adjustment. So it's just a good note to think about. Good note. Pun not intended, by the way. When it comes to drawing diagrams, you have to hold down the position before it actually locks in. So it looks like this. So if I wanted to draw a circle, I'm gonna have to draw it like this, and then hold it down at the same point, then it makes a circle. Now this figure is now adjustable. You can move it around. You can even duplicate it to make Venn diagrams. And as you can see, it actually locks in if you want it to be on the same plane. So say for example, I want it to be this small and you want it to be exactly the same. Either you duplicate it like this, or you can just tap this and line it up. And then just, it automatically locks it down for you. The cool thing about this again is, let's say I draw lines a lot. So you want to draw a graph, it locks into place in the lines of the page. Basically 90 degrees and the 0 degrees, it automatically lines it up for you. Okay, now I really have to prop my iPad up now because now we are moving on to text. So when it comes to writing text, you can opt to write on the line of the page like this. Or if you want it to be at the specific space or at a very changeable space, you can opt to draw text boxes with your pen. So let's say I want to put it here. Just draw a box right there. It's gonna be there. Oh shoot, I made a mistake. I want it to be on the other side. Bam. You can easily adjust it like that. So you can opt to add pictures and various forms of media in your notes. There's a photo library, camera, document scan, GIFs, web clip, and stickies. Photo library, basically you add pictures. That's my face, I know. Camera, you can immediately take a picture and add it to the file. You can also have a document scan. So you just put the document down there, take a picture like that, and then it scans it for you. Web clip is basically you put the web page on the page. And then for stickies, it's basically a stick note that you can put on top of something. So you can write here, and then you can move it around. Before I end this video, I want to talk about the ever-defining feature of Notability, which is to audio record while writing down. So you guys might be thinking, what's so cool about this feature? It's the fact that you can record audio like this. So it's already recording right here on the top right. And I can just write down, for example, I'm saying Marco Mallillin. Then 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 2, 4. Right? So when you play it back, not only does it play back the audio, it actually plays back how you started writing it. So at the moment, I am actually saying Marco Mallillin, and then if I wanted to jump into another topic, I can just tap that 2 and then it starts right there. So it's a really amazing feature. So that pretty much is an objective overview of the app Notability. I try to be as objective as I can because I don't want my opinion to really affect your decision when it comes to taking an app or buying an app. But if you do think that you need my opinion or you want to hear it, warning, it's my opinion. So I think Notability is a great app. I've used it for over a year now, and for the price of 450 pesos, it's definitely worth it. Although I would change some things now that I've used Goodnotes 5, I do wish they have some features that Goodnotes has. If you just want one app for all your writing, Notability is a good start. There are some free options. I haven't really tried those. Maybe I'll try to use them and then make a video about it. But then Notability on itself, without comparing it to any other app, it's worth the 450 pesos. So yeah, that pretty much is my video on Notability. I hope you guys found this insightful, helpful, and also entertaining. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I can't raise my finger. Question for the video: what note-taking apps do you guys use? I want to find out like the demographic, I guess, and honestly I want to try out new apps, so please do comment them down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Before I forget, subscribe. Next video. Peace.